Hello and welcome to another episode of me playing Sudoku. The first number I see is 1, so that's obvious. Second number I see is also 1. Third number I see is also 1, and I'm not even using that. And we're already seeing that there are a lot of numbers that just come at us. Whoops, that wasn't needed. How did I not switch it? It doesn't matter. So we're just going to cascade apparently because everything seems to be interconnected, and when you do that, then it means that every number then triggers the next number in the sequence because the pairs just can't, like, they don't leave anything else to be understood. And then when you have that, then you can just go like this, and there is no way to fail. The process of doing easy Sudoku is not the process of doing actual Sudoku, but is instead this. Very simple. Process of just typing numbers as fast as possible. And there you have it. 207 easy. Did you expect anything better? Shut the fuck up. I don't know how to put in inputs faster. You have to type at the spot, press the button, and move on. And I am not going to crab this so that I have like the phone sideways. One hand handles the positioning, the other hand handles the buttons. It's not my thing. So let's move on to medium where it actually gets some rubber on it. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No. Okay, if all other things are blocked, then it's this or that, which doesn't help us. And I try not to go directly into so you must ask yourself, what's the difference between regular Sudoku and using the auto candidate or the obvious candidate? Well, obvious candidate is where you know all the things, so therefore you know what must be. So if there must be a 1 here and a 1 here, then it could be here, but it doesn't say that it has to be there in order to succeed that. So you don't have that as an answer. However, 6 is limited in the fact that this 6 blocks a lot of things, so it can only be either here or there, which also, if it's going to be here or there, and if it can't be here or there, in this box, it has to be here, so that defines it must be here by Sudoku, as the Cracking the Cryptic guy would say. I will always reference that guy, probably. 1 becomes innocuous. 7, I mean, it could be here or there, and at this point, because it's a hard game, and because I don't give a shit, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to automatically just see the number 5 and collapse that, because I don't care. And 5 of here, apparently, also, which doesn't give me any more, but it does start me somewhere. And then I see in this entire square, there's no other 9, so that's easy. And then, similarly, you expected me to have an immediate insight, and I don't have one, so shut up. Anyway, let's look at the number 1 for a second here. 1 in here and there, and then 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. It seems like 1 is very obviously could be anything, and so not helpful. 8 is also everywhere. 9 everywhere. 4 few places. 9, 3, 2, 4, all in 2 different states, either in this position or this position, which collapses it differently. And depending on how you do that, you know that 9 would have to be here if the 3 is there, and then that would leave 4, 2, and that would be successful. And we don't know where those 4 and the 2 are, but we know where the 9 and the 3 must be if they are those. But it also means the alternative could be true. But if there's any other 9 in this, it must be at least in this column. It can't be anywhere else. So that's something. And if there is a 3 in this box, that means it cannot be in this box. Means it wouldn't be in the other places unless it is there. So if the 3 is here, it can't be here. And that leaves us with 2, 4, 8, 7. And then we got 2, 4, 8, 7, and 8, and 7 finally. So I could try to, I don't know the algorithms to easily collapse that. So we have like a 6, and another 6, 1, 1, 1, 9, 9 throughout, 7 throughout, 6, 4, 5, 3, 2, 8, 9, lots of places, 7, 4, 2, 9, 8. Okay, here's the thing. If you must do a 4 only in this box, that limits what these can be, and so the only alternative is the other one of the other 2 numbers that could be, the 2 numbers that could be here, leaving the last 2 numbers to be here. And if we could solve for something of that, that'd be great. Shut up, I don't know what it is, but it also means that if 5, 3, 2, 4, 7, you would think I would have some insight about that. And again, I do not. Let's return to Sudoku, see if we can get anything at all. And ironically, so that doesn't help us at all. We have 6 and 6, which is great if you don't care. And then there's 6 and 6, and 6 and 6, but also 6 and 6. Like, did I say 6? No, that's false. Okay. I always like to look for something that's very obvious, where it's like, but the usual thing that I end up coming with is proof by contradiction. So if 4 has to be in this box, it has 2 positions. If there has to be a 5 in this box, it could be anywhere, but 8 is only on the bottom row, leaving 5 and 2. If 5 and 2 are in these positions, that means they're not here. So that narrows it down. That's at least something. Because they have to be in those upper positions in that box. There is no option. And if there has to be a 5 and a 2 within this set, then you have to have 3. If 3 is... Okay, imagine that you had 1, you would still have 3 and 8, for example. So therefore, the 1 is here. Wait, what? Sorry. The 1 is here, leaving 3 and 8. Which also means if 3 and 8 must be here, then it cannot be here, so it has to be 5. Which leaves this to be the 4-2 pair, which is perfectly fine. But this is 5. And similarly, your mom, this is a 2. This is a 4. This is a 2. This is a 5. This is a 4. That was a good amount of collapsing, and then looking elsewhere, we see Nothing immediate, so that's fine. This box still will complete if we figure out which positions they're in. Same with this one, and so on. So it all seems to be working out at least good for now. 5 in the upper and lower doesn't help. 6 is in 3 different positions, and 2 in this box, which means it has to be one of the 2. And since 6 cannot be anywhere else in this column, except for in here, that's very limiting. So of the column, there is 2, 3, 8, 7, 6. And 6 is definite. So if we were to, example, make this a 7, which it could be a 7 or a 2, it would leave other places for the 8 and a 9. 3 would have to take one of the positions, probably that the 6 can't be. But it could also be here. 3 could also be here. Speaking of this column, looking at the 7, 8, 9 mixture, there is no way to put an 8 in here, so it must be 7, 9 in this row, or it must be 6, I guess. And that doesn't help because I can't resolve. But this is the only 4 in this row, so that's an obvious 4. That's helpful a little bit. Moving on, we have 7, 9, 7, 2, 7, 9, 2. Doesn't help. In this box, is there anything significant? 6 multiple, 8 multiple, 2. Either way, 6. I just said that. 9, 7. It's all over the place. Irrelevant. However, if it must be 2, 3 in this box, then this must be 9. Also, there was no other place the 9 could be, so I was just not paying attention when I didn't have that already. So I could have solved that sooner if I just really looked. Cool. This is the medium. Then we have 8. Collapsing the 7, 2, 3. Let's scooch over to the 9, 5, 4, 8, 2, 6. Simply by remaining numbers, 1, 7, 1, or 3, sorry, 7, 3, 9, 2, 4, 3, 6, 8, 7, 8. Has it collapsed? I think it has. I don't think there's any choices left to make. It's just dial it in now. The simulator. I mean, you could make a mistake, but good luck doing that if you're actually focusing on just, if it has one number in it, put that number in. Coding of your brain cycles. And then we have completion. That was fast. Let's move on to hard, where it's always a butt sex. And we hate life. 5, 5. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. That's a 1. Kind of obvious just because of that. And for the sake of that, the 9 makes the 2. So that entire row was told to us. There is no options there. So candidate be damned. Once you go to the last remaining number, you don't have options. So screw you. Moving on. Now we look at literally anything and everything. 6, 1, 2, 5, 6, 3, 4, 7, 3, 3, or 7, leading 6, 2, 5, 5, 2, 7, 3, 6, 4? That sounds right. Well, it starts with 4 because 4 is the actual only position in that row, so that's easy. And then after that, we can kind of work our way backwards, although the rest is in a duality, so it's hard to tell. But that was an easy 4. 7, if 7, 3, if 7, and 9 could be anywhere. It's likely something else. 1, if 7, 1, and 3, if 7 and 1 can only be here, because 7 can't be anywhere else, this cannot be 3. Let's just say that out loud for everyone to hear, because it's not false. Then we know that the 7 elsewhere, also if it is in that box, cannot be here, but we don't know that because it could be here. But the point is that the 7-1 pair has been cleared. And then if we know that the 7-1 pair must be there, then the 1 cannot be here and here. So that also clears those numbers. If 1974, 7 being the only alternate number, then it leaves the possibility that it could be 1. But if you think of this as 1, and this is 9, this is 4, this is 7, then that is 1. Don't know what to tell you. Blah, blah, blah. 4 is alternate. 4 is still alternate on this one. 8 is on the bottom. 8 is limited. 9, 1 looks like an interesting spot, although irrelevant because there's a lot of other ones. So it seems, but we have said if this is 7, 1, that doesn't exclude it from the box, so that doesn't help us. And this also being 1 means that there's more duality possibles. 5 here and 5 here. 4, 4, 8, 8, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. 1, no 6, because duh. So if 6, then 6 doesn't, and 8, then 8, 8 doesn't, 8, 5 doesn't, if 8 does. So if 5, 8 must be here, it can't be here, right? Unless 1. Then if 2 must be here, and if 1 must be there, or 9, then 8, right? Something, nothing conclusive, actually. I'm fucking with you. You wish. Anyway, 7, 1, no. 4, 5, 4, 6. 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. Dum. 1, 9, 2, 7, 6, 7, 5. 6, 6, 1, 6, 7, 1, 6, 7, 1, 6, 7, 1? 3, 4. Oh, hold on. If 3, 4 is not elsewhere in the row, then 3, 4 must be the only numbers in these boxes. Ahaha. So not 6. That's important because it removes the only other 6 and also the 1. No, that doesn't track. Revert. hold on. Let's not go that fast. But if 3 is not, then 3 can't be elsewhere. So that's 3. Wait, I said the thing. I said it. I said the full thing. It has to be 3, 4, because otherwise 3, 4 can't be in this row otherwise. So it has to be 3, 4. So it cannot be, for example, 1 and 6. That is definite. We have found that. And therefore the only other 6 is here. And that helps us. Question mark. Now, considering the 1, 7 pair with 6 doesn't help us. 5, 5, 6, 2, 8, 7, 3, 4, 6 doesn't. If 6 doesn't, 6 does. 3 doesn't. 3 does. 9, who knows? 7, who knows? 2, who knows? I'm not articulating enough. I don't care. If 8, 2, 3, 2, 8, 3, and 9, 2, 8, 3, 9, 3, 2, 8, 9, 8, 2, 3, 8, 2, 3, 7, 7, 1. Let's just pretend 7, 7, 1. So we have 4 numbers to divide between the remaining 4 positions. That's something, but we can only put a 2 here. We can only put a 3 here, or a 9 here, not an 8. 8 is the one thing that could go anywhere. So if you think about it, if this was a 3, if this was a 9, then this could still be a 2 and an 8. But we can't confirm that. Can we? Unsure. Well, also, because this is another duality, it means that you have to limit it somehow. So let's say the 2 was in here, then 2 could be here or there, and not the rest of the places. Does it limit anything? No. 6, 4, 2, 4, 6, 9, 8, 7. Already taken. 5. Blocked. 5, 5. 5, 5. 2, 3, 5, 7, and 8, 9. 5 in this column, also duality. Duality column 8, 7, 3, 2, 4. Lots of potential. Unclear. Revert Sudoku. If 6, then 6 doesn't. Then, like that would a 6 here would collapse that to a 3, which makes this a 6. And leaves all the other options still there. If this is a 7, then 6, 3, 7, 6, 3, 7, 2. It's like I see a path, and then I don't know what exactly the path should be. Question mark. The whole 176 is an interesting triple. And the 17 makes it a dual, so it's like... Well, if you made that a 1, then this is a 9. And if 1 and 9 are already taken, that's a 4, that's a 7. So that works. If you make that a 7, then the rest of these can still be something, and we don't know what any of those are. But if you make that a 1, then that doesn't change this. So it's a lot of not seeing anything. This one, 9, 6, 3, 5, 7, 2, 5, 4. 1, 2, everywhere. Just everything everywhere all at once. Every time. 6 in this row and this column, alternate. But if 6, then... Wait, hold on, stupid me. If 6 can, 6 can't. If 6 must, then 6 cannot. Duh, 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 duh. Okay, we found a 6 that cannot. That's nice, helpful, a little bit. Which means also, if 6 must, then 6 wouldn't, then 6 can, and 6 wouldn't, which still seems fine. But that's nice. We got one more number, at least an elimination of a possible number. If we end up with just 1, 7, well, 1, 7 pair, 1, 7 equals 1 with 3, 4, and 5. We need to put the 4 somewhere in here, so it has to be 4 here. And then 5 also has to be there. So if it has to be 4, 5 in that row, then it cannot be 4, 5 anywhere else, or other numbers in that section. Because 4 can't be anywhere else. So therefore, it cannot be 4 anything other than 4, 5. So we remove the other candidates, and we end up with a sparse set of numbers. Nice. I like that simple thinking. 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 1, 7, 1, 6. We don't know anything, but it would look more like we know more than we say we know. Because of all the places, this is the only place in this square it can be a 5. That's collapsing something. It's not enough, but it does give us the 5 here, which also gives us nothing. But it's fine. It's at least something. Take every bit we can. Okay, so if 2 this column, then no other 2, so it must 2. And the remaining numbers remain yet. And if 2 in this column, something doesn't say 1, doesn't say 8, doesn't say. I don't think it says, anyway. But that's a couple more numbers found, yay. Two, 9, 3, 8, 7. If 7 and 3 or 9, then 2, 8, 3, 9. It's still unclear. If 1, 9 and 1, 8, and we don't know which one, but 2 must, doesn't help me. If 5, 5, 9, 9, 9, 9, 7, 3, 4, 3, 4 equals doesn't and does. But if 3 this column, then 3 this column, to this column, if 3, 6, then... Wait, if 3, 6, 3 cannot. Oh god, that's obvious, isn't it? If 3, 6 must, then 3 cannot. Yes, that is good. Like, pretend the number was placed there, you would see that as not an option anymore. You know what I mean? So that's cool. And then if 3 here, then 3 would immediately there, and other 3s would not. But if 3 here, then 3 doesn't, and 3 does. Maybe. And doesn't help us enough to know what we are doing with ourselves. 6 and 6 and 6 and 6. 8, 8, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 8. Well, if 5, then 4 must, leaving 3, 3, 8, and 2, 8. 7, 1, and if 2, bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum. If 9, but we don't know. But if 9, then doesn't 9, and doesn't help us. That's a lot of 9s, so it just doesn't not help at all. If 9 and doesn't 1, then 1 must something for 5, could 5, but 4, could 4. I could collapse this in an attempt. So imagining the 3 here, then it doesn't 3 elsewhere, and the 6 goes there because it must, and the 1 has, then the 7 goes there. So, what did I just say? Ah, frick. The 3, 6 doesn't, this was 7. 3. Wait, if 1, 7, and 6 must, and 1 or 7 has to be in here, but not there. If 7, then 1, and 1 wouldn't. If 7, then 1. If 7, then 6. If 7, then 6, then 1. Then 8. If 7, then 6, then 1, then 8, then 7. That works. Hold on, what if the other case? If 1, then we don't know. But if 7, then 6, and 1, then 8. Then we do know. But we don't. Because I don't. There's a lot of, if I just pick a path, I don't want this to be a pick a path. I want to solve it. I always want to actually solve it. If the 6 and the 4 is in this box, then the 4, 9, 7, 3. If 7 is here, if 3 is here, it blocks the 3. Turns the 6 to 7. 3, 6, 7. 3, 6, 7 blocked. Oh! If 3, 7, 6, 3. 3, 7, 6, 3. That works. But if 3, 7, 3, 6, 3, 3, 6, 3, 7, 3, 6, 7, 3, 1, 7, far-reaching implications, question mark. 9, 4, 7, 2, 8. Question mark? Oh, that's wrong. Ah, shit. Well, let's go back to wherever the 3 was. So if 3 equals wrong, then 3 must equal 7 must equal correct, question mark. Unless there is a further mistake, which I am unaware of. Unawares. I am nonplussed. These numbers are all trinary. This is a trinary. Fascinating. We don't have as big of a cascade, but at least we know some things. And if 7148, Semaphore. If 4 3 must, then 4 cannot. Yes? Question mark. Yes. So that's not 4. Meaning if 4 and 4, 4, so 4. If 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. 5? Could 5. But 7. If 7, 7, 7, 7? 2? I don't know. If 1 still leaves the 8, if 1, 8, still 7, 1 pair. And I usually find the contradiction of something else. Let's go back to Sudoku. If 1 doesn't 1, 7, only 2 7s optional, only 2 7s optional. Many 7s. 8. Well, if 8 and 8, then 8 must. Obviously. So if 8 and 8 and 8 must. Oh, here's a thing. If 8 cannot anywhere else, then 8 must be in that corner, meaning 8 cannot be in this corner, for example. I love that. I love finding those. Those are good. Those are helpful. I didn't remove other candidates that needed to be removed, because that would suck. Yeah, those can't 8 if the 8 must in this. The only way 8 is in this row is if it's over here. So we have those answers now. And then, doesn't help us enough, but it's helpful. Some, and if 3, 4, and 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 if 9 and 1 doesn't, 1, it still leaves, if 9 and 1, that still leaves 8 and 2, but it could be a 9 and 2, 8, 1, or 8, 1. If 4, then must 3, and 5, and 4. That doesn't give us more numbers, is interesting. So it's not clear why that makes sense, or if it is true. Of all the 9s, why is every number possible 9? Well, it cannot 9, so it must 9. So in order to 9 in the middle, it could be here or there, but it then can't be elsewhere, and the 9's 9. The 2, 5, 8 is a good triplet. 3, 7, 8, 9, 1, 3, 2, 2, 8, 7, 9, 3, 3. 9, 4, 3, 4. In order for 4 to be in the middle, or the side, it has to be in one of these positions. If 4, then 4 doesn't. If 4 doesn't, 4 does. And if something, something. 6, 7, 1. If 1, let's start there. If 1, then 7, then 1, then 8, then 7. Which feels right, but again, that's just a pick a path. We started with this 1, and we would have to revert back to that point. And I hate finding clues and then reverting back and deleting clues and whatever. So if 4 cannot, then 3, 9, 3, 9, and if 4 must, then it can't be 3 and 9 because it must be 4 somewhere in the box. So one of these can clearly not be, like, you can't both be 3 and 9 in these boxes, meaning if we could figure out where the 3 and 9 must go, we don't know because we don't know. Here, no. Here, no. 7? Yes? If 7, 9, 2. If 2, then 2, 7, 7, 6. Elsewhere, I don't know. Oh, is that the only one in the box? That's easy. Whoops. So that solves that much. If 8 must, then 2. If 8 and 7 must. Oh, that is true. If 8 and 2. Oh, that's a 3. Okay, hold on. 6, 7, 2, 9. Fuck. Fuck. Okay, we screwed up somewhere. I don't know where. That's the problem. I don't have a clue where. I can't. Nothing matters. Everything is screwed except for the first numbers, which have to be there. So, damn it. Fuck. If 7, 1, 3. Did I remove the 3 from that? Because it could be elsewhere, and the 1 could be elsewhere. The 1 has so many options. Why did I remove that? I don't know. If 6, If 6 free verticals, 3 doesn't. This is true. And if 6 free does, 6 doesn't. This is also true. If 8 must and 2 must, 7 more likely must? But I don't know. Oh my god, I hate losing all of that progress. That's why I don't like pick a path. I need to actually know. I need better algorithms in my brain to solve this without as much difficulty. Pickles. Yeah, I know. Oh, cute little baby pickles. Alright. No, I don't like path. Pathing sucks. If 4, 5? Did I have inspiration about 5? There was a whole thing about this row that if 4 in this column elsewhere does something else. 2, 3, 6, 7. It's more likely. But I don't know. Damn it. 8, don't know. 3, don't know. 1, don't know. Oh yeah, 4. No, not 4. I mean 4. It's the only 4 in that entire row. So that's helpful, slightly. And that is true. I really don't like the way that stuff happens. Because if it 2, that doesn't change much. But then it 9s. And 1, 7. Whoops. I almost jumped. There was nowhere to jump. If it doesn't 1, then it must 1, probably? 7, 6, 3, 3, 6, 7, 9. If 8, 9 pair, then 8 cannot here. Am I right? We don't know. Well, if 9, then it could be 8, 9, 3, and then the 2 is definitely. This is a 5. Wait, did things change? I think they did. The 7, 8 pair means 8 cannot. Also means 7, if 7, 8, then 7 cannot. In that box. So that's helpful. And based on this, if 1, 2, 3, 7, 9, 8, a lot of options. Doesn't make enough. If 4, 8, 9, for example, No. Six, 673. It makes more sense that this would be. Damn it. Wait, if that must 7-3, that can't 3. This cannot 3. This also cannot 3. Meaning that's an 8. Meaning that's a 3. That's a 2. That's a 2. That's a 1. That's a 7. That's a fuck up. God damn it! What? Let's go back to the beginning and say we don't know anything, and then say, well, we do know this. So we do know that, and we know that. That is true. Everything else, I'm gonna kick your ass. I don't know what it is. Because damn it. If 6-3, then 3 can't. Unless 3 does. No, if 6-3 can only in these two boxes, then 3 cannot here, 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 and there. Because you need 2 numbers to fill those spaces. And also 6 cannot. Right? It makes sense. It's a by Jove conclusion. And if 6, 1, then, and 3, then, if 3, 4, then 6 cannot, right? 6 and 1 can't. So this one 6 can't, and this one 1 can't, because 4 free must. Because there's nowhere else for the 4 to go or the 3 to go. We just don't know which one. And then if 7, 8, 2 must in this column, so complicated feeling. 7 in the column doesn't 7, 3. If 3 does, then 3 probably might. I don't know. 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, 5, 4. 4. This is the only one in the. I said 4 as the answer. Give me a second. Okay, so that was good to help. Something. Yeah. If my intuition about 6 holds up, then 6 must be in that, because, I mean, if 7 did then 1 and 6, meaning it can't be elsewhere. And if 7 did and 1, then 6. So 6 can't be here, for example, or there in this box. So that's good. If 7, 8 pair, if you move the 7 and 8, then 2 must. If you say, it's too easy to put this 2 there. What if it is the 7? You know? Something, 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 6. Oh, yeah. Very true. Something, 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 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Huh. 7 or 7. 6, 6. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. 8. But if 8 doesn't, 8 must. So 8 doesn't. Oh, yeah. Because it's the only way in that vertical 8 can 8. So, there you go. Slightly helpful. Then we know these are the only 8s. And then if 8, 2, 5, 4, 1, 1 could alternate 8, 7, 9, 3, 9. If 8, 3, I mean 9, 3. Um, if 3 must, then 3 could, and 3 could. The only the weird thing is if 3 goes here, that forces 7 there. Which forces a 6, forces a 1. Oh, that's a 5. Yay. Doesn't help, but it forces this to be a 5. So that forces this to be a 2. That to be a 7. 3, 6. Okay, so these are like solid things about things. My eyes darting everywhere. Okay, if 6, 3 and 8, 6, 7, 2, if 7, 7 doesn't, 7 doesn't, 7 could, 2 could, 8 could. Oh God, I wish I was faster about this. 8 something, 6 in the column, 6 in the row, 6 column, 6 row, 9 column, 9 row, 5, 4, 5, 5 alternate, 5 and if 5 and 4 if 5 4 must, no other numbers can, right? Yeah, so it cannot 1 3 7. That's helpful. For example. Yeah, because 5 4 must. Also meaning 3 can't. If anything, that's at least some kind of direction. And if 4 in this column can only be in this column, it cannot be here. If 9 in this row, if 1 then 8. Then we would still have a 2 9 pair. I need to breathe more. Why do I consider yawning and grogginess to be the absence of proper air? Because that's what it feels like it is to my body, I guess. But grogginess is normal, and so is your mom. If 6 must be in that row to be in the block, then 6 is guaranteed there, and 6 3 is a pair, and 3 3 is a pair. 6 3 and 7 7 6 3. Then if you put those in those positions, then that makes things do things. Any inspiration on 3? Like 2 is too easy to put here. It could be a mistake. Because if 2, then 2, and if 2, then 2. if if 3 3 doesn't, then 3 8 can elsewhere, and vertically 8 2 must be in this. 3 7 are up there, 9 is down here. If 2 and 8 must be in that box, right? These boxes must be, this box row must be the 2 8. Because it doesn't go anywhere else, then remove the 2 from other candidate middle box. Right? It's the only way you can get it in this row. Similarly,
and the like. If 5, then 5 doesn't. If 5, then 5 doesn't. And if 2 and if 3737, right? Then it can't 9. Well, if okay, that logic. Oh, wait. In order to row the 7, it has to be here and here. It can't be anywhere else in the row. Like the bottom row can't be 7, so it must be here and here. So by that logic, um, something. If 7 must be somewhere like there in the box, then 7 can't be here in the box, for example. That is logical. Yes, we are refining our assessments. If 4, then 4. 4 doesn't end elsewhere in the column, the row. Did I say column, row? Who cares? You get it. If 7 must in the row to box, then it doesn't anywhere else in the box? Question mark. Yes? Right, yes. Okay, cool. Thank you. If 7 in this box, for example, then 7 cannot be here, and then it would be 6 and 1, and 7 would be here, and that would mean 8. That makes sense, and if I paid attention to what I just said, I would know what the hell I'm doing right now. Great. Rumble, rumble, rumble. For example, if 7 here, 6 wouldn't. 7, 6, then that would 1. That would 8. 7, 6, 1, 8, 7, 3, 6. So try to remember, go back to the 7. That's where we started the chain, in case we get lost. It's not the way it should be. What else did we unlock by doing that? I don't know. One, 3, 7, 8, 2, 8, 2. 2 doesn't go on server besides these 2 and these 2. 8, 9, 3. For example, if 4 and 4, 4 is 4 and 4, 2. 7, 3, 4. We started with this 7 in this assumption, and I hope it's right. I am so tired.
The piggity. The piggity. If 8 or 1 still leaves 4, it still leaves 4 and alternate. So if 4 and 4, 9 on the jelly and the lime. Um, if, for example, 9 can't be anywhere else in the box, it has to be in this row, right? So then what about 8? 8 can't be anywhere else in this box, it has to be in this row. So that leaves 3, 1, and 2. And so if 6 doesn't help, if 3, then doesn't help. If 1, I don't know. 7, 5. The one thing you cannot do is you cannot put 7 and 2 here, because then you wouldn't have an 8 in the column. So if 8 cannot be anywhere else besides in the column in here, it cannot be here, for example. So if 8 cannot be anywhere else in this row, then 8 must be here. That's helpful. Did you think that was the next number I would find? Tell me in the comments, for real. Shut up. 'Cause I don't know how to do it faster. Okay, so if 8, if 8 must be in this, it can't be elsewhere in the box, so it has to be there. That's good. Something. And if 8 can't be anywhere else in the column, then for something, if 9 has and 8 has to, as in 99999. 2, another 2. So you can't, for example, put 4, 8. It has to be 3 in one of these spaces, meaning it cannot be a 3 here, question mark. No, I don't know. Well, no, by the observation of 4, 9, it would 3. Why would I say that? Oh, I don't know. So it cannot be, for example, 3, 9, because then 4 wouldn't. That's the wording that should have went out of my face hole. And so, anterior. So if 3, 9 cannot be both there, then you must 3, 9 ounce something, something, something. 3s can also here, here, and here. 4 an alternative, but it doesn't tell me anything. 4 could also be here or there, so it doesn't tell me anything. 4 in this column can only... Wait, 4 has to be in the box in this column. Doesn't tell me anything. Do I really have to pick a path? I really hate doing that. I want to solve, not pick a path. Feels like the wrong thing to do. As long as it's nothing. Boop, 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 boop. You didn't hear that from me. Anything. As long as it isn't anything. So don't wait. Yeah, no, that's understood already. Okay, cool. Great. Good for me. So for example, if 7 and 2, then 8 wouldn't, and is that acceptable? Well, I mean, 8 has to be, wait, no, yeah, if 7 and 2, then 8 wouldn't be in the row, so that means that 7, 2 must be elsewhere in the box. And so there's alternatives, meaning this can't be a configuration of 7 and 2, for example. It has to be 7, 8 or 8, 7, one of those. We don't know which one, but we know it's one of those. So, fa la la. Ba 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 ba. A doodly doo. Did you know that you can cost your bird feet? Because if you candidate this in the 1, you have a blank candidate 1. And if you auto, you flip it. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying about this thing. It's a different way of doing it. It's like saying what you think should go there versus like, so it's the opposite is what I'm saying. So if you said, for example, well, you can pretend that the numbers are in the places and then you could just erase all of those conditions because they're just candidates. So if 1, then it doesn't 1 1 and it 1s, which is likely that it would 1. Let's say it 1s. If it 1s, then it could 1, but then it would have to 1. And if it 1s, we don't know if it 1s. I don't know. I don't like it. Not my way of doing things. For inspiration? Question mark. For inspiration column row. If row, then row. Also alternate row. 5, 5, 5s. 2 and 4 free. If 5, 2, 4 free. 1, 8, 7, 7, 8, 9, 5. 2, 4 free. Free. 7. If. God damn it. Semaforme. The 4 to 4 to 4. I can't find anything. God dang it. I'm always stuck on this where I feel like I have to pick just brute force it. Just say 3, for example, and see where that gets us. We're starting with 3. If it screws us, it screws us. But at least we know we started with the 3, and then we don't have to backtrack as far. We hope. But now we're on to another pick a path. It's like a pick a path, which is stupid, but we know that this is 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 9, 8, 9, 9, 9, 8, 9, 2. Oh, frick. Because the 2 blocks the 2. If 2 twos that way, so then we know that, and then we go on with the 9, 3, 1. Is this what I did last time? I'm gonna slap myself. Fuck you. That's a different set of not. Go back to 3. So if not 3, then 4. Try that. I think. Right? Because the 2. There's just something. Oh god, and I picked multiple. You got you have to path the. And it's just. But if it's just. Must start at 2 or 7. Wait. 2. Frick. Like, this doesn't feel like proper Sudoku. It feels like it's not enough evidence to properly solve without, like, extensive brute forcing and whatever. And whatnot. And it doesn't feel like that's the way it should be. It looks like 7. Forces this 7. That's a 5 in that box. That's a 5 here. 6. Notice how numbers still remain in some kind of weird mixture. It can't be undone except for 2. We said 8, 2, 8, 2, 7. It can't be anything else. It has to be 7. And this cannot be 2. So the numbers remaining are the 1 and the 3. And another 2. Leading to I don't know what still. With 1, 3, then 1, 3 can't, so 6. But also, for other reasons, it would have also been 6. And if 1, 3... Don't know. Why do I feel like I don't know? I should know. I should know. I should be aware. If 3, 9, then 3, 9 doesn't. 9 doesn't anywhere else. And 3 also doesn't. But there's no 3 there, so it doesn't matter. Leaving the last place the 9 could be is here. Making a 2, making a 1, 8, 2, 8, 9, 8, 3, 9, 1, 4, 1, 1, 3, 2, 9, 4, 3, 8, sorry. 3, 9, 4, 3, 9. Again, just by the virtue of choosing a path and then choosing the alternate path, running it to its conclusion, and a subsequent other extra and stuff paths, something like it just seemed to work. I remember there was a 2 in this position or something, so it's like that was wrong, and other things were correct. Whatever, we made it there eventually. Are you embarrassed by how long it took me to do hard mode? Well, so am I. And if I wasn't sleepy, it would still be as hard because it is that way sometimes. So I don't want to do it again. I did it last time where I was like, I don't feel like I earned it. Is there any way that I could know what I'm doing? I think this time I have tried alternate paths. I've tried whatever thing, and I figured it out. I got there eventually, and like, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird feeling. It feels like I'm not actually solving it and whatever. Feels like there's something missing. It's it's whatever. But drawing Klingon. Um, Toodles.